Hi everyone, this is Tanya the Lady Strange. Welcome to my altar room. So today is Sunday, May 4th already. So this is going to be the weekly collective for May 4th of 2025. So take away what resonates for you. If it doesn't, you can leave it behind. So the decks I will be using this week is the Bohemian Gothic Tarot by Baba Rock Studios. An amazing indie deck that is very chatty, very evocative, but also holds a lot of secrets and a lot of magic, but honestly is good for bringing out the truth and what needs to be known when she wants to elaborate, or also to kind of whisper that which is hidden. The actual archetype that I will be starting off with will be the amazing Citadel Oracle for what archetype energies for this collective whom this may apply for, that this may show that may resonate, or if this reading or guidance for this week resonates for you, or what to embody to have a more effective, empowered week, no matter what each of us experience is in this collective, which I know I'm part of. And of course, the clarifying oracle is going to be the amazing Earth and Bone Oracle by Syrian Shadows, one of my top favorite oracles. His oracles are my favorites, to be honest, all three of them. But with that being said, let's see what this week has the collective. I'm going to connect with my guides, spirits, familiars, entities, and deities that work and walk with me, and of course, my higher self. My gifts and abilities and what is being shown to me that will help myself, but also for this collective. What represents this collective this week? Their energies, embodiment, characteristics, or also what their strengths are, and also potentially things that they have to be mindful of that may be considered not necessarily a weakness, but something that might come up that they in themselves or others that they may have to work through. So let's see what archetype and energies for this collective this week. The energies are already kind of high. I know I'm going to be having a very interesting work week for my job, but let's not go into that. I'm already not looking forward to that, and that will start tomorrow, but it is what it is. So let's see. Oh, that one that just spoke. Again, I feel everything's going to be very chatty today and high energy. So let's see what it has for us. Okay, so the collective this week and the energies is the priest, which the key words and the key elements on this and energies and advisement is perseverance and faith. Well, that's very appropriate. Having perseverance and having faith is basically, obviously, we all need that in different aspects, day to day, and experience to experience, moment to moment, and throughout our whole lives. So this collective, I feel that this represents. It may help to know if you resonate with this reading and this message and what to take away from it. Is this collective is very strong. Strong because they are warriors and have faced a lot of things. But they've also had faith. Faith versus hope are two different things. Hoping something great is going to happen is just hope. But having faith and knowing that it will happen in the way it's meant to, and that you will still be standing no matter what comes of it, what choices, adversities, or strengths or weaknesses. So having faith has gotten this collective through in the past. It's going to help getting through high energies this week. So, and remember of all those times you persevered, and continue to channel into your perseverance and your strength and resonance this week. Again, I feel that there is going to be some very challenging energies, not necessarily horrible bad tower moments. Not that the tower is always a bad thing. Each and every card and every guidance has two sides to every story, like they say, or coin. But this priest indicates that Follow your inner knowing. Follow what you've had from the past that you've gotten through, and take that knowledge and have faith that you got this. And despite what happens, it is what it was meant to be, and that you showed up for yourself because you have and always embodied perseverance, had faith in yourself, for those others around you that you have faith in, and that faith that things are turn out as they're meant to be. So that's an amazing card. And it's saying also, like a priest, tune into your intuition, your inner guidance, and what feels right for yourself, and what you need to do to show up through this week's energies and circumstances. So that's a great card for this week for the archetypal energy, and represents this collective and what you have had and what will help you move through the circumstances. So let's see what the Bohemian Gothic has, the tarot, for this week's energies, circumstances, and guidance. I don't do predictive readings as much as, believe my cards. There we go. No surprise. I already have jumpers. Yeah, if you watch any of my previous videos, that's how my guides and everything speaks to me. So they gave me the 2 without me having to ask. So again, they were ready. Oh, they gave me 3. Okay, so there's the 3 I typically am guided towards on 2. Easy enough, right? So, like I said, chatty deck, chatty energies this week. We have the Fool. If my hands are shaky, bit very tired. Yeah. So the Fool. Secondary, we have the Knight of Swords. Boy, do I love this deck, and its evocativeness, in the feelings and energy that it evokes, and all the effort and creativity in this. This deck is one of my favorites in my collection for many reasons. And, of course, the 3 of Pentacles. So those are quite, go kind of in with those priest energies. So with that being said, okay, with the Fool's energy, the Knight of Swords, and we have the 3 of Pentacles. So the Fool is obviously a major arcana or a major key in this reading. So the Fool is all about, as you can see here, stepping forth and taking that leap of faith, despite not knowing all the facts. Now, it can be, as I said, have 2 sides to it. It can be being a bit foolish and recklessness, taking that, without fully knowing the facts, but just thinking before you speak, leaping before you know everything on that, being a bit carefree. Not that that's a bad thing, again. It just depends on the circumstances. But it's also like the priest that we got for the archetype. I'm feeling heavily, my guides are saying, for this collective, that despite everything, continue to take that leap of faith. Follow your illumination. Follow that beginnings and paths and opportunities that are still carrying in from the past into the present, and what's going to bring you into the future of not only this week, but going forward. Embrace the willingness to have faith and continue to try despite you don't know what's coming or what might be 20 minutes from now type of thing. And that's how this week is going to present itself, is that despite that, your willingness to take choices and to move forward and through on the path, even if the path is a bit rocky, a bit difficult, take that leap of faith, move forward, move through moment to moment, day to day this week. That's going to be the best advisement, and to embrace it. The willingness to embrace the unknown and do the best you can, and knowing you're doing the best is one of the best things that the Fool energy has. Is that the Fool, no matter what, steps up for themselves and moves through and presents themselves in situations. So stay present, but be mindful, but don't take the negative side of the Fool and be too rash. Just be willing to accept what comes and move through that in presentness, if that's a word, whatever. The Knight of Swords. Swords are, of course, They are in the realm of air and in the realm of thinking, logic, the double-edged sword, where it can help you to be logical. It can defend your situations, your convictions, and protect, but it can also destroy things. A willingness to destroy things, but also the willingness to basically protect yourself and that which you love and those things that matter and those people and circumstances that matter in your life. So the Knight of Swords, this one, of course, deck has different imagery, which I love about it. But the Knight of Swords is always a fast-moving energy. So that means moving through, embracing your logic, moving forth with the truth and clarity. And despite not having the clarity, moving through things and circumstances that are going to present themselves this week. Be like the Knight of Swords. Be a bit rash, but be open and logic. Be willing to challenge in a healthy, effective way, despite what comes and what situations, big or small, and mainly in between, that are going to present themselves. This Knight of Swords is fast-moving energy, kind of like the Eight of Wands. But again, this is a fast-moving energy for this collective to make sure that you are moving forward, but also do not be too rash like the Fool, like I mentioned, or the Knight of Swords can be, making sure that you're being aware, using your logic and your determination and discernment this week. Energy and messages and changes are definitely coming. As I mentioned in the beginning, I do feel this is quite a overpowering energy. There's a lot coming at once. But this collective, of course, has the ability to have faith, perseverance through discernment, embodying their truth, and of course knowing that they're moving through each situation as best as they can, and that they're still standing, like my motto is. And lastly, for the tarot, we have the Three of Pentacles. So the Pentacles are earthly things. That is our material things, our job, our finances, our home, what we're working to create, what manifests in the 3D reality, our day-to-day experiences. Three of Pentacles is about working, about meetings and learning something new, but collaborating with others. Having a stable foundation is a key to things. So be open this week to learning new things. Be open to what others have to share and what you can learn. Have a healthy meeting of the minds type of things. And remember that despite being sort of the Three of Pentacles being in the beginning, that you have this, and that the threes are a very magical number and a manifestation and coming to be. So the Three of Pentacles is, again, collaborate, listen, experience, perceive, and put through that grounded effort. Grounded effort means being mindful and showing up through that, like I mentioned, discernment, having faith that you got this and that you will persevere. And lastly, let's see what the Oracle does have for the clarification as a takeaway or a clarifier. Let's see what this collective needs to know that will tie into this reading. To have, again, an effective, empowered week, no matter what each of our experiences and what the outside and the inner, our inner worlds and our outer worlds and around us may present, but that most of all benefits us so we can move through and move forward. Okay, we're just going to take one. Well, we'll take one from the top, this one, and we'll take one from the bottom. Okay, let's see. We have appropriate, like I just mentioned about learning, and learning from others. Got the Apprentice. So that is saying, of course, that we're all an apprentice. We're all learning in this experience and from our past and our present and into the future. That none of us masters all the learning and all of our experiences because things can change. Our perceptions can change as we mature, change, let go, and embrace, and how others and things affect us. So being an apprentice is a great thing because we're all apprentices in this thing called life. So we have here higher education, beliefs, and wisdom. So that's appropriate. So again, continue to use your wisdom, continuing to having faith, and of course, higher education means higher learning. Now, yes, that can be college, learning new skills and aspects on the job, but also listening to your spiritual compass and path, no matter what that may be or may not be. That's fine also. It's whatever resonates. But higher education means knowing more, embracing more, and facing more. So we're all apprentices in this thing. Continue to learn. That's what the higher education is, and learn from others and from yourself. And do not repeat patterns, but embrace those lessons and the takeaways you've already gotten up to this point. And of course, your beliefs and wisdom will get you through to have an effective, empowered week, despite no matter what power presents itself. And of course, like that priest is, to continue to have perseverance. That will get you through. Your past, in many ways, will get you through into this week in the present, and continue to have you create what you want for the future. And lastly, uncover. So it's going to be nostalgia, sentiment, and memories. So again, that ties in. Memories may come up or may surface. Certain things may trigger this week, meaning feelings, memories, or experience. But also use the memories of positive times, the things that make you happy, those relationships and things in your life that have gone right, and that you are still here, because that aspects are going to help you to get through. The good memories and the things that have lit you up in the past and made you feel full will get you through that. And cherish the new memories that you are going to create for your future self, that you are doing today, tomorrow, and this week, and going forward. So I do see it's going to be, despite some bumps in the road and some moments that are going to be a bit triggering and very high energy, this collective does have a lot of discernment and will have an effective week. The first half, the first 2/3 are going to be a bit bumpy. The last ones, we're going to be still standing, and all the better for it. And be proud of ourselves. Be proud of yourself and how far you came and where you're moving forward, and knowing that despite no matter what happens, you're on the right path. And with that being said, if you like this, please like, comment, subscribe, as my channel is very small, and it does help to know that my message and my gifts and that which I'm guided towards helps others, as others help myself and inspire me. And with that, thank you and stay strange.